未来洗联储还 HDO 洗币会别人抢着来成为国家流通的货币。接下来被国家认可、主权认可、主权流通，甚至大的这沼泽地控制的金融计算流通，这是一定会发生的。
And yes, we are glad to see you too. So welcome again to Crypto Talk session 14. I am Jesse.
My name is Bindi. Welcome. Now, first up, let's see what news we have for you in the crypto circle. Can we have the PPT, please? Okay, we are talking about EU. EU bans crypto services to Russians. Can you believe it? Poor Russians. The EU has imposed sanctions that forbid European crypto operation from providing virtually any crypto services to Russians. The EU sanction against Russians include banning the provision of all crypto wallet and accounts. So as of to date, Russian wallet holding less than 10,000 euros were exempted from similar crypto sanctions, but the latest batch of sanctions also placed limits on imports and exports, military equipments, and oil prices. So it's not a nice time to be Russians at the moment. Over to you, Jesse.
All right, next up we have Kiki, George, Kim Kardashian. She has to pay over $1 million to settle the SEC charges, which is linked to a crypto promotion on her Instagram. So the queen of social media, Kix, as she's also known as, she was fined, for failing to disclose a payment she received for touting a crypto asset on Instagram. She has now agreed to pay more than $1 million to settle SEC charges. Now, she has also agreed not to promote crypto assets for the next 3 years. That's going to hurt. And she says she will cooperate with an ongoing investigations. Now, someone is flexing their muscle, and it ain't Wes or her. Now, so this reality TV mogul, superstar Kardashian, reportedly she's worth about $1.8 billion. Right, this post apparently netted her in the range of $250,000. But with that comes scrutiny, and we read it as the heat from regulators and investors over her June 2021 post. So remember our guys, the top dog on all things deemed securities, Mr. Gensler. So the SEC chairman Gary Gensler opined that this case serves as a reminder that celebrities and others are required by law to disclose when and how much they are paid to promote securities investment. So Crypto Talk, this show, it is proudly brought to all of us by our editorial team, DVT, Lachette, Kitty Hawk, Larise, Eddie, and of course the planning director team comprising of the ever effervescent political mean the people, direct translation, the tireless Mr. Never resting on his laurel Bulan, and the evergreen tree Zhong Rishu. And with that, we shall drill down into today's topic. Over to you, Bindi.
Okay, of course, none of us get paid, so we don't have to worry about scrutiny in a sense. Okay, let's move on to video number 1.
What is staking? Staking refers to the act of someone pledging their crypto assets to a crypto protocol in order to receive rewards in exchange. Staking lets users help make the network more secure by locking up tokens. As a result, users receive rewards for securing the network in the form of native tokens. The higher the amount of crypto assets that a user pledges, the higher the rewards received. The rewards are distributed on-chain, which means that the entire process of getting the reward is fully automatic and that staking is a passive activity. How does staking work? If a crypto permits staking, a user can stake some of their holdings and earn a percentage rate reward over time. This is done through a staking pool, which can be seen as something similar to an interest-bearing savings account. The reason why a user's crypto receives rewards while being staked is due to the blockchain putting it to work. Cryptocurrencies that permit staking rely on a consensus mechanism that is known as proof of stake, which is a method of making sure that all transactions are verified and secured without having the need for a bank or a payment processor to oversee that. Once a cryptocurrency is staked, it becomes part of that process and can no longer be used or traded until it is removed from that pool. At the moment, some famous options are Cardano, Polkadot, Solana from the top three, and others would be Avalanche, Tron, EOS, Algorand, Tezos. What advantages does staking have? It is not uncommon for long-term crypto holders to see staking as a method of having their assets work for them by generating rewards instead of just collecting dust in the crypto wallet. Staking comes with one big benefit, which is that it plays a role in making a blockchain project more secure and more efficient. When an investor stakes some of their funds, the blockchain becomes more resistant to attacks and its ability to process transactions is increased. Staking is an essential part of the proof-of-stake consensus mechanism, and in some cases, projects can give out governance tokens to staking participants, which has the role of offering holders a say in future changes or upgrades that are discussed for the protocol. What disadvantages does staking have? Staking often asks for a lockup or vesting period in which the cryptos used in the process aren't allowed to be moved for a certain amount of time. This is obviously a con, as it means those users aren't allowed to trade their staked tokens during this period of time, even if the market turns bullish and the price starts to increase. It is highly recommended for every person interested in staking to do their research on the exact staking requirements and rules for every project before they get involved in it. Conclusions. Staking is a way of increasing the amount of crypto one person has without doing much really. By adding their coins to a project, not only do users get rewards, but they also contribute to making that blockchain safer and more efficient to use based on a consensus mechanism called proof of stake. But following market trends is highly important. Otherwise, a user may find their investment stuck in the project for a period of time while the market goes bullish and the prices go up. So prior knowledge of how markets work is needed.
Okay, what is staking? Easiest way to understand this is to think of it as a fixed term deposit at a bank. So when you stake your crypto, you are actually putting aside, locking away your crypto for a period of time. In return, you get stake reward or more cryptocurrency. That's the reward for locking away that amount of crypto. So why does this has to happen? Because most blockchain use proof of stake consensus mechanism. So when they do this, they need to have a stake a certain amount of crypto to stake a crypto amount. Think of it as performance guarantee. It's just like when you have a contractor doing some contract, the contractor needs to put some performance guarantee away. Think of staking. When the blockchain does staking, that's how it is. They lock away a certain stake. So where does this stake come from? It comes from depositors, right? It comes from crypto holders. So crypto holders, they hand over their crypto, lock it away for a period of time in return for stake reward. And then this will actually help to also take away some crypto from the system, which makes the system more secure and more efficient. So many leading crypto exchanges offer this sort of stake rewards. So a more passive or novice users can put their crypto directly to the exchange for added convenience in exchange for a portion of staking yield on the exchange. So a few of the examples that have been mentioned are staking options are Ethereum 2.0, Algorand, Cardano, Polkadot, Solana, etc. So over to you, Jesse.
All right. So some will ask, so really, what's the benefits of staking cryptos? Simple. Show me the money. It is still very much trending today, and you go on a lot of social platform. You go like, oh yeah, do you want to receive for earn passive income. Staking accords you a productive asset in your crypto. Now, let's speak it. If your DAO has no intention in selling your token in the near future, you now have opportunity to earn passive income. Yep. Imagine sipping your pina coladas on your beach deck, your beach chair, and the virus staking, you apparently can earn passive income. So it is really a case of don't ask, don't get, don't stake, don't get. All right, now is it easy? Yes, it is really a operation of virus staking. You can easily and quickly start by staking by using an exchange or a crypto wallet, which we spoke about last week. And then you fancy the crypto projects that has been blipping on your screen and your radar. Now with staking, you can support the crypto projects that you like, because that is the added benefit of staking, which is to help to increase the security and the efficacy of the blockchain projects that you hold a light for. So now remember those projects that you wouldn't touch with a barge pole? So as surely as the sun rises from the east, there must be some risk in staking your cryptos. Is that not so, Bindi?
Yes, of course, because taking away, you cannot access your crypto. So which means you cannot have a change of mind and say, okay, I actually need to have some cash now. I'll convert my crypto into fiat. I want to sell, or I want to take advantage of the rising trend. Maybe your crypto has gone up multiple times, hit your target, and you want to trade. You can't do that. It's just like fixed deposit. You're not supposed to break that fixed deposit term. It's exactly the same. And a lot of banks, some banks actually allow you to break the fixed deposit, but some banks actually don't. So with staking, you cannot access, and because of this, it just means that you cannot take advantage of the rise and fall of the market. So this is one major thing. And of course, if you have emergency, you can't access your crypto. And of course, I think the other risk of course is if the crypto that you have actually invested in suddenly drop in price and hit your threshold. And then you want to get out of the market, you can't do that as well. So let's move on to the next topic number 3. Over to you, Jessie. I think Jessie may have a network issue. Are you back, Jessie?
Yep, so essentially you can nice to question. Okay, now inbox by Jason Nelson of Decrypt. Am I right? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but not very well.
Okay, all right, just hear me. I'm nothing much to look at anyway. So in a report by Jason Nelson of Decrypt, all right? So we have the Financial Stability Oversight Council releasing the 124 pages response to US President Joe Biden's 9th of March 2022 executive order. Now, this report sheds more light prevailing mood on ensuring responsible development of digital assets. Their report conclusion: you're right on the money digitally. Crypto assets, including stable coins and cryptocurrency exchanges, needs more regulation. In September, the White House released a comprehensive framework for the regulation and development of cryptocurrencies in the United States. And thus, in lockstep and near unison, the US Treasury, the SEC, the CFTC, which is Commodity Futures Trading Commission, have over the last year stepped up their efforts to regulate digital assets in what some in the space call regulation by enforcement. Now, these results have proved to be a bit tad more troublesome. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says, the size and the scope of digital assets have grown significantly in recent years. And this asset class has attracted a lot of capital and interest from both retail and institution investors. So adding to the current narrative, the crypto asset system then proceeds to throw up some very significant shocks and volatility. Who can forget the hair-raising roller coaster ride in the past year? This is to say, hey, the potential remains very high for instability in this asset system. Hence, we need Bindi to unpack for us what are the key and foremost issues in this report, please, Bindi.
Okay, there are 4 reports. I don't know whether there's any issue with, okay, I'm back. Okay, there are actually 4 key points that the report has pointed out. First thing first, it says instability in the crypto asset ecosystem is dramatically amplified, including the lack of risk controls to prevent operational risk or excessive leverage. That's the first thing. And of course, the second thing is prices are driven by speculation rather than fundamental economic use cases, which is not an issue as far as HCN is concerned, because we have a payment system is already in place, a payment platform. Unlike a lot of other cryptocurrencies, which does not have a ready payment system, it is the coins are more for so-called speculation or investment per se, not for usage, which is not good. Now, the third thing is repeated, significant, and widespread decline. Up and down of cryptocurrency is really what draws investors into the market, but yet repeated, significant, widespread decline is also what worries people. Now, crypto token associated with entities with risky business profiles and opaque capital and liquidity positions. In the wild west of crypto, a lot of people come in because it's decentralized. So people there's so much anonymity behind it. People actually use it because of money laundering. One of which, of course, is very well known is Bitcoin. Where 96% of the coins are owned by 14% of the people, and that's subject the prices to a lot of manipulation. So token associated with entities with risky business profiles. Well, are we going to see that in the future? Well, with regulation coming in, hopefully we will see less and less of that. Now, the reports also identified risk as concentrated or decentralized in critical services and vulnerability. Gary Gensler, who is the SEC chairman, and FSOC, which is a Financial Stability Oversight Council member, said that the market isn't that decentralized. Most crypto tokens are securities. So many crypto intermediaries trade securities must register with the SEC. That's where control comes in. Now, Gensler also previously cited Bitcoin as an example of crypto asset that is not security and should be regulated by Commodity Future Trading Commission, CFTC. So the time of Wild West is probably, hopefully, coming to an end. When it does come into an end, I think cryptocurrency will really take off. In all, these reports provide a strong foundation for policymakers as we work to mitigate the risk of digital assets while realizing the potential benefits. They are also providing valuable addition to the public's understanding of digital assets. So that's what Yellen says. So let's have a look at what Mount School has to say.
存款机制是肯定有的，存款也是战友们主导的这个金融平台。这个存款1年、2年、3年、4年、5年，就存款的5%到10%的利息到10年，给你 HCN 每年兑现所以说存款5到10就这么牛世界上没有，而且给你做抵押，就你存款的时候就给你做了一个，比如说现在PIN存了1个亿美元。当天就给你同时开具了可能1亿美元那个 HDO 的保证，这是不可撤离的。然后每年就给你 HCN 10%就给你兑现了按照当年的价格就给你了。你说战友们这是多大的钱？就这样才能让战友们，当第2年、第3年不能买币的人，你可以拥有币因为你给我利息，给我的是币，不管你多少钱，你就是给我这个币，你就可以获得第2年、第3年的币。就你存款。比如说刚才毛本小哥带了450万，我存在这儿，我存上10年期，是吧？每年10%，那我1年你就给我45万价值的币，你每年都给我，每年都给我，这你就可以合理的获得了，这就是很牛的
So we have leverages and liquidity, values versus risks, And while the world lingers on every word that proceeds from the mouth of their central banks and fixate their eyes on interest rates, it's really interesting what Mr. Moscow in this video is saying, actually. The proviso of a variable term interest or deposit ranging from 12 months to 5 years at a very competitive, I must say, it is very competitive interest rates of 5% to 10% for deposit up to 10 years. What's your view, actually, Bindi?
To be able to use fixed deposit as security is really what does the market, do banks provide this sort of thing? I think not. When my mother had a lot of fixed deposit, she wasn't offered any loans. But in this case, what Malsco is saying is that you'll be able to apply for a mortgage when you also have a fixed deposit. That means people who have a lot of net worth. He actually even suggested people selling their house and converting into HDO, because if they were to deposit that HDO with Himalaya Exchange, they actually get a very competitive interest in return. So at 10%, he gave the example, if you have 4.5 million HDO and then you have 10% return, that gives you 450,000 worth of HCN at market value. So maybe the next year when HCN value has gone up, maybe you have a lesser HCN number of HCN, but you have that 10% worth of HCN in return. So this actually allows people who cannot afford to buy HCN in the second or third year still ability to earn HCN, which is very attractive. Now,
Yes,
saying that, I will have to say, reading in between the lines, what Malsco is telling us is really the value of HCN, or the ability for people to access HCN is going to get harder and harder, which means the price that we have right now, market price that we have now, 20 something, is we haven't seen anything yet. So instead of us, that's why it's not so long ago, he also said, just deposit more HGO into Himalaya Exchange. That's what he said. So people have to read in between the lines. That's all I can say. What about you? What do you think, Jesse? When you hear him say all this?
my view is this. This is the real show me the money moment. We're always looking at the multiplier effect, right? And you really want certain control of your own assets, especially something as liquid as or volatile as fiat money. Now, remember the current the backdrop, the narrative to this now is the financial and the economic. We are in quite a tumultuous period. So just a few months ago, I remember having a chat with someone, and then we were chatting about EUR, which of course, based on what Mr. Moscow has told us, I can brag a little bit and let's graduate a cup of coffee. And I said, EUR, which is euro dollar, so it's going to come down, right? And then true enough, it came down, and I'm like somewhat of a god, but it is not really. It's what Mr. Moscow has been telling us, because he's even saying within the next 950 days now, or near to 1,000 days, all currencies will depreciate, right? So based on what he's telling us, he's giving us the broad stroke now. If currencies depreciate, and almost all currencies will depreciate, then it begins the question: depreciate against what? It must always be a reference to something. So we see GBP, we know the sterling pound depreciating against the dollar, EUR depreciating against the dollar, and even renminbi has joined the fund. But we know they have a insidious and nefarious agenda there, a bad actor on this world stage. So when you see that, all right, if all currencies, if you know on the horizon that all currencies are going to drop, suddenly 5 to 10% annual interest, all right, with an upside, with a demand from future demand of the H coin, it does put this asset in a very interesting position that what we call is a funneling. It is standing at the funnel, and when the wind comes, it will fly. It will fly because the fundamentals are already there. The stable coins, the exchange infrastructure, the military grade security, because there's a lot of hacking, and this is not something which has happened. Thank God for that, right? And you're looking at, of course, the multiplier effect, right? FD as a security. This is stuff of what we call beep dream, right? This is stuff that you go like, whoa, even if I start to do allocations, now these are not qualified financial advice, by the way. It's just our personal view, right? So based on what he's saying, he's giving us the broad stroke, and in parity, if you know that it's going to drop, and you can hedge properly some of our portfolio allocations that has upside, in fact, a double upside actually. All right, it is, if you feel that unless the US dollar is going to crash, which we don't think so, I don't think so, all right, then you're looking at a parity against the other currencies that you might be holding. And with that, a 10% is huge in today's term, actually, right? With the volatility and the upside of HCN. I think that's what really got me there. And I go, oh, hang on. So we have that, and we have the HDO as a backstop also. And I thought, this is really interesting now, because it is beginning to look like you can securitize your own assets, number one, and number two, you are able to almost create your own safe haven assets. That's my view, actually. What's yours, Bindi?
I think it's very attractive. Or you can have the cake and eat it too, because on one hand you have your HDO earning interest. If you are also able to use it to take up a mortgage, isn't that very attractive? I think it's very attractive. So that makes us looking at real estate in a different light altogether, because real estate typically in Australia, they don't make money. Typically, they don't make money. Most of the time, it's not residential. Residential houses are not cash flow assets. Typically, they are capital gain assets. That's why you have to leave it for 10, 20 years to get that capital gain. And now things are, if depopulation is going to happen because of the COVID jab, so there will be lesser and lesser demand for residential houses. So why don't you want to sell your investment properties, convert all the equity into HDO, either by HCN with your HDO, or leave it aside and take the advice of Mild Score and earn interest. It's possibly you can live off that interest if your deposit is big enough. So that's a food for thoughts. For some other people who don't believe in real estate enough, they even sell their own home. Look at Elon Musk. Elon Musk sold all his mansions a while ago, and he was living in a small I think $50,000 mobile home or something like that.
Pop-up home, yeah.
So the question is, I don't know whether he's still living there or not. That was a few months ago. Probably he finds it too cramped. So things are changing. The whole paradigm of what is asset is really changing. So in that sense, we will actually have to change with time or be left behind. So with the remaining time, I just want to again caution people, we are not financial advisors. This program has been brought to you only because of the popularity of digital currency, and we are sharing information and knowledge with you for educational and maybe, hey, entertainment purposes. So do not take advice from this program or any of us. We don't make any money out of all this. So you have to make your own decision. Take your advice from your financial advisors if you believe in your financial advisors, and you're fully responsible for your own action. Now, last thing is just to share with you that daylight saving has already started in Australia. So we have the program is now at 12 p.m. Sydney time, 9 p.m. Beijing, Singapore, Perth time. So, and also we want to also let you know that we have a new Getter account, which is at Crypto News Talk. Getter account at Crypto News Talk. So that will be also the account where you can watch all past episodes of this series. Thank you very much. We'll be back next week at the same time, which is daylight saving time, 12 Sydney time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. See ya.